Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. This is another episode of Living Your Purpose. We do this every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like clockwork. Please come and join and tell your friends. If you're new coming in, yes, we do this every Sunday. I am SJ, and my company is Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. I get you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. What I do is I make sure you understand that life is to be controlled and life should not control you. And my beautiful, wonderful co-host to the side of me.
Hi, everyone. I am Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I'm an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, speaker, spiritual counselor, and life coach. And it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find, and walk in their own purpose. I'm so glad that you've joined us this evening. If you are live, if not, if you're listening on SoundCloud or watching a replay on YouTube, thank you all so much for joining. We appreciate it. If you are new to Living Your Purpose, what I like to say all the time is please visit our website so you can learn more about myself, about SJ, about what it is that we do, and to connect with us all over the interwebs. We are on Facebook in a group. We have a wonderful community.
Come to the group.
It is so awesome.
Join
to
the group.
The Facebook group. It's called Living Your Purpose Community. It's real easy to find. Just type it in and you'll find us there. YouTube. Like I said, if you're watching on YouTube, you already know where we are, but subscribe.
And subscribe.
So please subscribe. Like our videos if you like them. If you don't like them, that's fine. But what we need from you guys is your feedback. If you don't like it, tell us why not. If you do, great. Tell us why. Because we want to make sure that we can get better so that we can do more for you. We also, again, are on SoundCloud, so you can listen to us on the go anywhere you are. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on Periscope. We are on LinkedIn and Google+. So, all of that having been said, this evening's topic is, as the title says, spreading yourself too thin.
Right.
Just before we went on the air, SJ called me out.
Yes.
He said,
I did.
I can tell sometimes by the topics that Danielle has something going on in her life that we need to talk about.
Absolutely.
So, this for me tends to be a recurring theme, at least for the people around me. My sister on Friday, we actually happened to work for the same agency. So we were riding home together, and she said, before I left, we were talking about all the stuff we had going on for the weekend. She's talking about going on vacation and so-and-so's prom and all of this type of stuff. And I was just talking about all the work that I had to do.
Wow.
I have a meeting tonight. I have a meeting tomorrow. I have a program tomorrow. I have a client today, and I have a client the next day, and then I have the show. And she said, sis, tell me that you're going to get some sleep at some point this weekend. And I said, of course I am. And I did eventually get some sleep. I got some rest. But it resounded to me again that I do a lot of things. And don't get me wrong, I love everything that I do. It's wonderful. I do everything that I do because I love it. But sometimes schedules get compounded or build upon one another, and I get very, very busy. I don't have a lot of time to sleep, and that does make me very tired, and it can make me very ill. So I have learned for myself to recognize the signs in my body and then listen to my body instead of trying to push through, because if I don't listen, I said, okay, I hear you, but let me just do this one more thing. Let me get through this day. Let me get through this meeting. Let me get through this call, and then the more I do that eventually something happens when I'll wake up in the morning and I cannot move. Literally cannot move. Wow. I have to call in to work and say, I can't come in today. And, and then I'm mad because I have to miss money. I got stuff to do. And I'm like, I have leave and I get paid for all of it, whatever. But the point is, I don't like to not be able to do stuff. So say all that to say, everyone at some point if you're working towards something, if you're working for something, sometimes we get overwhelmed. And when you're on the path of living your purpose, there's so much that has to be accomplished. When you're in business for yourself, when you are in school, raising a family, you have a 9-to-5 job, or, you know, you're working 40 hours a week, 60, 80 hours a week, and you still have class and you still have kids and they have games and plays and concerts or whatever it is. And then we still have family and friends who need our attention. It can get very, very overwhelming. And what I always come back to say is there has to be balance. And you have to make sure that you have time for yourself. And a lot of times, like I do, we justify spending our time the way we do by saying, well, I love doing things for people and I love taking care of people. And I really like this organization. Or I really, you know, I have to get this done so that later on in the long run, it'll pay off. All of that may be true and it's wonderful. However, it does nobody any good if you do not take care of yourself. Right. Some of you guys who have been around for a while have heard me say this many times over. You cannot take care of anyone else if you cannot properly take care of yourself. You have to have balance. Scheduling is important. I don't know where I would be in my life if it were not for my paper calendar, my lists, my phone apps, and all of those things, because it helps me to be able to use my time more effectively and put my energy, my focus on what needs to be focused on at a particular time. Yeah. And sometimes I kind of feel sad for myself, but sometimes I have to block out a time period of a day or an entire day that says nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like last Saturday, I did nothing. In fact, the only thing productive that I did last weekend was this show. Right. And I felt great about it. I felt sometimes it happens that way where a weekend will come and I don't have anything to do and then I freak out because I feel like if I'm not busy, something's wrong. I'm missing something. There's something that needs to be done. Everything that I had planned to do was done. And Saturday last week, all I did was sit in the house and play video games with my son all day long, and it was amazing, and I felt so good. Right. Because I was rejuvenated in my spirit. I didn't do any, you know, unnecessary housework. I didn't, you know, my house was clean. I did my laundry, you know, the things that you typically do on a weekend, but I didn't feel overwhelmed. I didn't feel like I have to do all of these things a day, because I did take that time and allow myself to just rest my brain, rest my body. And this is true for everyone else. There's a question in the chat. Do you have tips for getting out of overwhelm? Yes, I do. Here they come. Right. If you have to, like I said just now, schedule your personal time. And it could be a date with a significant other. It could be a night out with friends. It could be just, you know, go to the mall and walk around by yourself for an hour. Just schedule your own time for yourself. If you're like me and you like your calendars and your planners and all of that, you find an open spot somewhere in the week or in a day, take that time, write it down, block it off for yourself. Someone calls you and they say, I need something so-and-so. Can you meet today at 3:00? No, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm already booked. They don't need to know what you're doing or who you're with or anything like that. You say, I'm booked this time. Can we reschedule for another time? That's it. Nobody else needs to know that your time is your time. But you also have to make. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say, here's the thing. I think another thing. Can you hear me clear? Okay. I think the problem is that people don't analyze how their day is, or people don't analyze what they're actually doing. Some of them doing it subconsciously, just doing things. I think that if you are able to know what you're doing, meaning that there's a lot of times that we're doing things that, or spending our time on things that don't serve us. Okay. So sometimes, like Danielle said, blocking time. Maybe if you look at your entire day or look at how you're using your time, you know that most of that time is being spent on things that don't serve you. So those things need to be cut out. And those things need to, to be said no to. to be able to make the time for yourself, because sometimes we just do that. We love to serve, but sometimes our time is being served on things that don't benefit us. So it's very important to use, or to at least analyze where your time is being spent, because sometimes you may be overwhelmed with things that don't serve you, that you can actually let go, you know? So that's important.
You're a step ahead of me. That was actually going to be step 2. Look at, and that's fine. That's great. See, that's why we work, because we're right here. So, the next thing that I was going to say is, I don't want to say analyze because you just said it, but figure out where your time is best spent, and figure out the things. Make a list, if necessary, of things that must be done and things that could not be done. Something that doesn't necessarily need you or your attention or your time paid to it. Cut out things that are not priority.
And that's hard. Some people, because they're attached to it.
Exactly.
Like, subconsciously, they're attached
to me.
To it.
I'm attached to everything that I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, right? I love to help people. I love to serve. Like my organization, Pin Up in the chat will attest to this, because we work together in an organization, and I always tell her and the people that she works with, call me anytime. If you need me, call me. If I can't do it, I'll let you know. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be there. And and she has had to say, we just want to give you a break. We don't want to overwork you and stuff. And then I'll say to them in return, I will let you know when I'm overworked. I'll let you know if I can't do it or won't do it. But again, if I don't have anything else that's pressing to me, then I will go ahead and do that thing, or help that person, or take that call, or take that meeting, or whatever. But if I can feel that I'm being overwhelmed, and I know that there's a whole lot of stuff going on, even if it's nothing that day, but I know I have a whole bunch of stuff today, and the next day after, or the day after tomorrow, I have a whole bunch of stuff going on, I need to take a break. I need to say, no, stop.
Right.
Take that time, rest, go to bed early, something, do your nails or something that's just for you, because when you start up again, it's going to be difficult for you to stop. So prioritize your time, basically.
And I think that people consider being overwhelmed as being productive. No.
Yeah.
You can have, some people are so overwhelmed with incomplete projects, or things that they lack, they don't go forward through, or they complete, because they feel like, in society, productivity is considered to be highly valued aspect of life. If you're not being productive, then for some reason you feel like you're not doing anything, right? But like I said, being overwhelmed is not equal to productivity. It's just not. It's just you are putting in a lot of things on your plate, that a lot of those things on your plate is not being completed.
Right.
So it makes no sense to be overwhelmed with incomplete projects. I always say, take a little at a time, but you have to complete it. That's the whole thing. Sometimes we get into the mode of, we be around our friends or be around our coworkers or a networking event, and they ask us, what are we doing? Us saying nothing feels like we're being lazy, or we're considered lazy to that individual. And that's not necessarily the case. Saying nothing does not mean you're not doing anything. Is actually being able to take time for yourself. Today, I'm networking, but I'm not really doing anything. I'm just networking and introducing myself. And I'm just like trying to build a list, or whatever the case may be. But you don't necessarily have to be always at it to be considered productive in front of people. Because sometimes we do it for the love of other people and what they feel about us.
Right. And we have to learn to define what productivity is. If you take a day off from studying, from working, from making calls and all that type of stuff, and all you do is clean your house, that's actually productive. That helps you, because that's something that, one, you can relax your mind from everything else that's going on. You clear your space, which is something that we talked about in a previous episode. And and it helps you, set up yourself so that you can do more and be more productive in the other things, because you don't have to worry about that pile of clothes that's in the laundry room, or that cobweb that's in the corner that's been bugging you for 2 weeks, whatever. Listen, it all. These are the things that irk me. So we all have those moments. You can be the neatest neat freak, and if all you do, like I said earlier, is just take care of yourself. And as a woman, I cannot express to you how necessary it is to sometimes just take a day, and somebody might call it a beauty day or a girly day or whatever, and soak in the tub, do your nails, do your hair, play makeup, play dress up, do whatever the heck it is that you need to do to make yourself feel good, and relaxed. Maybe go shopping and do something that doesn't have to do with anything else, that actually will help you increase your productivity, because you feel better.
Right.
You're not tired. You're not exhausted. You have to take care of yourself. I don't know how many times I can say it without it getting old. I don't think it ever will, because we don't take care of ourselves the way that we ought to, and it's so necessary.
It's true.
It's so necessary. I'm loving what's going on in the chat here. Yes. By the way, you guys are awesome. Also, I just wanted to invite you guys. We do have this open seat. We call it the love seat. If you would like to express your opinions, your thoughts, this is a conversation, not a presentation. So if you want to come on camera and have something to add to the conversation or have questions for us, please feel free to just click that button and we'll let you in. Wow, that didn't take long, did it? Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, welcome to Living Your Purpose.
No, because I was just, I'm over there in the chat just like, I can't type fast enough. So I was like, go on.
There we go.
Welcome.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you feel about this topic that we're talking about, being stretching yourself out too thin?
So first, when I saw thin, I was excited. I was like, well, I've been trying to stretch myself out thin for a long time. No diet's working. But
that's not what that means.
Right. I knew that wasn't what it was mean. But I think that, one of the things that Living Your Purpose said earlier is so true, in terms of like, if you're really trying to serve people, you really can't be your highest self or your best self in terms of service if you're not even really taking care of yourself, practice self-care. Right. And there's some things that are really essential to self-care that I don't always see as essential, because it's like, you always sometimes you have this idea, you got to put other people first. You got to put other people first. You got to put like me thinking about getting my nails done. It's like, my pedicure. It's like, I really, really need this pedicure. But at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, why am I over here doing this pedicure when I could be working on this and this isn't together, and, reading a book.
This money could be spent on something else.
Yeah. It's like my mind goes to, that's a waste of time. You know what I mean? And
wow.
In my heart, like I feel like I know that that's not true. That's not a waste of time. But somewhere in my mind, it gets like, taking care of myself is a waste of time. So.
Yeah. But you know what? You're not alone on that. You're definitely not alone on that, because so many people feel like I said earlier, that they have to be doing something. And majority of the things that they're doing are not benefiting them and not serving them at all. And they do it subconsciously, and they don't want to do it. They don't want to take care of themselves, because then they feel like they could be doing more, right? So
it's selfish.
It's like, they're selfish. But the first, I believe that self-care is very important, even though that is so overlooked. Like, some people are just not taking care of themselves at all. When they're overwhelmed, they have inability to sleep. They have increased weight loss or weight gain. They have mood swings. They forget things. They have negative thoughts. They have illness. So all these things contributes to being overwhelmed or as I say, burning candles in both ends, right? Mm-hmm, so it's just too much. So when you sit there and realize, how many times during the time that I'm serving do I take care of myself, I guarantee you it will be less than an hour or less than 10 minutes. Not even in the meditation, even in getting in tune with oneself, it's not seen. They don't do it at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
when you said
It's a waste of time.
mindfulness, I was like, if I did, I feel like if I was trying to sit and just like, okay, let me just practice some silence and mindfulness, my mind would be going a million miles an hour. Okay, did I do this? Did you do this? Did you make sure you do this? You know, go pick up this from the store. Do this. What you gonna make for dinner? All of this stuff is, I think, what I would end up spending my mindfulness time with.
Yeah, it takes practice. It does take a lot of practice. And sometimes, listen, a lot of people get confused with meditation. They say you have to clear your mind and be silent and have no thoughts of anything. It's not always the case. Sometimes it's necessary to organize your thoughts because we're trying to think and do a million things at one time physically, and we have this what's next while we're doing this thing. Sometimes it's a way of organizing your thoughts. Let the thoughts run through your head so that they can get out, right? And then bring some order and some peace. The quietness and the stillness will help you to bring some peace. It does take a lot of practice for a person whose minds race constantly, believe me, but it is necessary and it is helpful. I mean, I would just have to go back to say, schedule your stuff, schedule your time, write it down. Like, it's a lot of people like to write down their goals for the day in like a checklist form. And that's great to have so that you can see it. But even that can get overwhelming. You say, oh my gosh, look at all the things that I have to do today. And a good way to start the practice of that is to write something on your list that you do on a regular basis anyway, like brush your teeth, make your bed, something like that, because then it gives you a sense of accomplishment. What I like to do alongside the major goals is to have, and sometimes in place of the major goals, is to have a list of things that are already done so that I can look back at it and say, because on that to-do list, I might skip a couple of things and then feel bad that I didn't do it. But if I write down everything that I have gotten done, then I can look at it and say, well, I've been pretty productive today. You know, I did all of these things. So I can't feel bad about not getting something done when I look at all the things that have been done. And so that's one way to help shift your mindset on productivity.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say is that, you know, we do definitely make goals for future things. You know, what we want to do in the future and how we want our journey of living our purpose done. But I think that living your purpose is also about living or loving yourself too as well. So what you need to do is set goals for what you're doing for yourself today. And it could be in increments of a day or whatever, and say, you know what, today I'm going to get a pedicure. I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to do a pedicure. And then when you wrote, those can be goals, because sometimes we need goals to be able to have self-love and self-care. Write them as goals. What I'm going to do on every Tuesday or every Saturday, I'm going to dedicate an hour to myself, and I'm going to do this, and that for me. And then when you see it and you do it, then you know that you're working on. But it's hard because, once again, the things that we do is always subconscious. We just do it without even thinking. Things that so take time to write goals for yourself. Not only goals for your future, because you want to write goals for your future, but who's in the future? You. If you're ill and you're not well, then you can't have much of a future. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So living your purpose is an overall consensus of how you take care of yourself and how you move forward to whatever it is that you desire. So you want to make sure that you take care of self first. So write goals down for yourself. Say, this is what I'm going to do every Wednesday, or this is what I'm going to do every Saturday, or this is what I'm going to do every Sunday. And start making it be repetitive so that it can be a habit. That way you start to be able to do things for yourself on a daily. And then subconsciously, you're just taking care of yourself. Saturdays, I know I'm blocking that time for myself. Boom, boom. I'm going to get, but you need to definitely do that. And it's going to be hard because it's not something that you're normally used to doing. So you're going to have to definitely get yourself in a rhythm of or a habit to do those things. People have so many projects on their plate that they haven't even finished. And they get so overwhelmed with it. Yes, Daniel. Okay. They get so overwhelmed with it. No, seriously, they get so overwhelmed with it. And they realize that this was something that they took time that didn't serve them at all. I mean, that's the bottom line. So you really need to look at yourself and look at how you're spending your time, as Danielle said. It's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the reason why we're overwhelmed, is because we have things that aren't done. And the problem is because, like you said earlier, we have so many projects going on at one time.
And we pick up another. And we pick up another.
And another one and another one. And as soon as we get one done, then we're doing something else. And instead of kind of like weeding out or knocking out those other projects that still need completion. I mean, some of them may have a longer time frame, so you don't necessarily have to spend as much time on that and focus on the smaller things first. And all of that's all great. But how much do you have on your plate at one time? If I were to run down the list of everything that I have to do in a day, or the companies that I'm responsible for, are you kidding me? It's too much. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. So again, I can't stress enough, I don't think, the importance of being able to schedule your time, balance things out. You have to be able to say no to some things. You can't say yes to everything. This is another program that we had earlier. Saying no to someone sometimes means saying yes to yourself. It's okay to say no. It doesn't. It may not be comfortable, because a lot of times we're conditioned. We're conditioned to give of ourselves. We're conditioned to not be selfish. We're conditioned to put others before yourself. We're conditioned to serve, and that's fine. But what we miss is serving ourselves. And being able to serve yourself doesn't mean you're only self-serving, that you only care about yourself. But you have to care about yourself enough to make sure that you're okay. Because if you're not okay, you can't make everybody else okay. You know?
And I think that's what it is. I think the problem with being overwhelmed is, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing things and you're having projects, you're trying to make money, you're trying to earn some income, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. I think the problem is that you're saying yes to everything.
Right.
You're saying yes to everything because you feel that every opportunity deserves a yes, and it's not this case. Every opportunity does not deserve a yes. Every opportunity deserves an self-analysis of whether or not this is going to benefit me. So, and this for entrepreneurs, I'm telling you, everybody says yes because they don't want to miss out on opportunity. If they feel they say no, they're going to miss out.
Right.
So, I think the main issue is that we always, and the reason why we're overwhelmed is because we have a problem saying no.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem saying no. And that's the key element, and that's also good with self-care. Mm-hmm. You have to say no.
Right.
And I cannot hang out with my girlfriends today. I need to go do a pedicure today. I'm going to say no.
Right.
And so we need to basically use that word.
Hopefully I will be able to say, you know what? I went ahead and got my pedicure.
There is no hopefully. You're getting your pedicure this week. What are you talking about?
That's right.
All right. That's my goal.
Even if you do it yourself, just take care of your feet, please.
Right.
Yes.
Because you want to be able to walk further. Put something, that was a metaphorical thing, but take care of your feet so you can walk further.
Work further.
Know, right?
Yeah.
It was cute. Here's another reason why we become overwhelmed is because we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why do we do that? We feel like if it's something that we're responsible for, that we're the only one that can do it, we're the only one that should do it, and all that type of stuff. Or maybe some people don't help because other people aren't asked. There are a lot of people that get bitter because they feel like they take care of everything themselves, and this person isn't doing anything, and this person knows someone is going through something, but I'm always the one. Well, did you say something to them? Mm-hmm. Did you ask for help? Mm-hmm. Have you asked for help?
Right.
That's a problem too.
Because people don't like asking for help.
People don't like asking for help.
People like to make sure that they look like they have everything under control. Mm-hmm. And that's not always the case. It's very rarely the case. Some people are good like that. They don't take on anything that they know that they can't handle by themselves. Mm-hmm. But part of being a good person in business or in life really is understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are. Mm-hmm. And being able to recognize people who are stronger in the places where you are weak. And working together teamwork makes the dream work. It's an old saying, but it's steadily true. You have to have people around you who are able to assist you. Like-minded is great, like skilled is great, but if, for instance, me in my business as a makeup artist, if all I surrounded myself were makeup artists, I wouldn't really have much business, right? I need models, I need photographers, I need entrepreneurs, I need people in business so that I can work my job.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
You have to have people.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump off and open up the seat for other people.
Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
I'll let you guys know all about my pedicure.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right, bye.
Thank you. I think like you said was very interesting how you said that some people want to do it on their own all the time, and they don't like to seek help outside. I think it's important to know that if you want your business to be as 100% and complete, then you need to be around like-minded individuals, form a mastermind of individuals that have the same kind of mindset as you, and see the goal and see the vision, and then you guys can be able to get together and do it, because doing it on your own is very difficult. And you're going to find yourself stressed out, you're going to find yourself ill, you're going to find yourself not sleeping. So it's very important to at least delegate the things that you may not necessarily like to do to other individuals that are willing to help you do it because they see the vision and they see the goal.
Right. And that's like I said, so being overwhelmed comes down to a lot of things. One, not taking care of yourself. It comes down to having too much going on, spending time on things that are not necessary, not asking for help, trying to do everything on your own. These are all things. If anybody has any other questions, ideas, anything to add, please join us in the love seat.
Come in the love seat. If you any advice for those people who may be overwhelmed or just hitting the pavement too hard.
Yeah. And if you are listening or watching a replay, this is a conversation for you too. Just because you're not here live doesn't mean that you can't participate in the conversation. Those SoundCloud and YouTube, they have comment sections for a reason. Please do feel free to comment on what you feel about what we're talking about. How do you get over being overwhelmed? Do you find yourself overwhelmed? Why? What do you think your reasons are? Ask questions. We're here and we respond to everything. Right. We love Twitter. We love Twitter comments. I love YouTube comments and SoundCloud. I love all of it. Please, we want to help you. We help others so we can help ourselves. And we want to get better. And we want to do more for you guys. So please do let us know what you think, how you feel. If you have questions, please do let us know everywhere. Okay? We have someone in the love seat.
Oh, who's in the love seat today?
Yay,
Mr. Sewell.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Great.
I'm good. I had to turn.
You went silent.
Am I back yet?
You got it. You got it. We're good.
You're good.
Okay. No, I think this is a great topic, guys. I've been in and out because, like Danielle said, it is music time for me here, and so I've been making noise. But I think this is a great conversation, and like Danielle, I think I experience it more often than I should. But no, I don't think "should" is a good word to use. But I can be better, right? And because I think I have a good solution, at least it works for me. And that is, so to put it in a nutshell, I call it, you got to open your energy up, meaning you got to release, right? You got to have, like I put it in here, and have fun, right? You got to do something to kind of take you away from all the pressure to loosen up. And so the ways that I see to do that are exercise, go running, go outside, go in nature, play, play with some kids if you have kids or if you have neighbors, or like I just said, sing. You know, I woke up here, I was still not groggy, and I put on my little vocal training thing and just started singing. And I'm not a singer guy, so it doesn't sound like, you know, angels and all that. But it's fun. Like by the time you get to, you know, 5 minutes in, you just feel better, right? Because like I said, it opens your energy up. You know, you're out there, right? And like this, like here, you guys are out here. You kind of get out of your own head sometimes. You know, when you can actually spread yourself out in some way. That's what it feels like for me. Like when I'm out in the trail and I'm running, you know, it you can kind of feel it happening. It's like an egg that cracks, right? You're like, oh, I'm just bottled up. I have all this tension. You're like, oh, I got stress and stress. You know, and then before you know it, you're just like, oh, this is great. You know, you're just having a great time. And you're like, where'd the shift happen? You know, I feel like your energy kind of has to open up, and, you know, whatever way you use to do that. But, you know, just to kind of let it flow, you know?
Right. Yeah, I think creativity, having a creative outlet is so important, whatever it is. And even if your work is as a creative person, to take yourself out of that. Today was very interesting because I actually had a client today, and I was dreading. I don't know if I was dreading is the right word, but I knew that I had so much to do this weekend, and I would be exhausted. And it turns out I actually feel great. I feel fine now, as opposed to normally when I do the show, you probably, my eyes are all sunken in, and I'm like this at the end of it, like, yeah, still talking. Absolutely. Oh yeah, comment, share, like, whatever. But today I got up ridiculously early. I prepared my thing. It was a makeup client, so I prepared my brushes and my things and got my kit all in order. And I was like, okay, I gotta do it. I was still tired because I was up and working late last night. But I went to the thing, I met up, I did the job, and when I was finished with her face and sat and watched her take her pictures and stuff, I sat on if you go on Instagram, you can see the picture right now.
Yeah, you did a great job. I did see it.
Oh, thank you so much. But
yeah, she's beautiful.
Thank you. So on the Living Your Purpose page, you'll see me right after that, just kind of like, you know, exhausted. Right. But that was just me taking that just few minutes of a break between, because I was really happy and excited because I love doing makeup, and it was like and I haven't done it in a very long time. At least it seems like it's been a long time. And so I was really happy and excited to be able to get to my brushes again and put on somebody's face besides my own. And it was really, really, it was a great release and a stress reliever from everything else that I do. So it was just like, that was so awesome. And when I came back, I thought that I would fall out and hit the bed. I didn't. I stayed up. I was out. I spent some time outside. I spent some time with my kid, you know, and it was great. And I was like right here, back on the air, no problems. Right now, after this, it might be something different. But for right now, I feel awesome because I had that kind of break in between the things that I'm used to doing. That was a creative outlet, and I got to express myself that way, and I got to make somebody else feel good and happy in the process. So I think that is important to have something that's creative to do in the midst of all the chaos and the noise.
I think that is awesome because I think that we as entrepreneurs, we get so overwhelmed and stuff like that. We don't appreciate the little things like the singing and the laughing and the laughter and the whole getting silly and stuff like that. Those things we definitely need to appreciate the little things so that when we become overwhelmed with the big things, we can know that it's not a big deal. That we got, like, the universe got us. Don't worry about it, you know? So when you see the things that you're able to do, even like waking up in the morning, yawning, brushing your teeth, all those things are little things that we take for granted. So, you know, when you're able to laugh and being able to sing like Will, and do the piano and just do all that, that's just an energy that's needed so that you can see that everything's going to be okay. And so, and not only that, but I think that is important that
it's like,
a lot of
it's like, it's,
yeah.
a lot of people get overwhelmed and they get stressed out because they just don't recognize an importance of time. I mean, you can give money. Money is, you can give that and get that back, but time you can't. So it's very important to make sure that when you do have the time, that make every moment count and be appreciative of the little things, man. It's very important. Like I laugh, we have fun on this show. You know, we just, it's, you know, it's a topic in itself, but we have fun in this show because everybody's on the same page trying to live their purpose, but with fun.
Yeah, we do.
So.
Yeah, y'all started out laughing, and you were like, "We gotta get serious." I was like, "No, don't get serious.
We
Just
love
keep going." But I was thinking about what you said. Yeah. But yeah, it's like a friend of mine. She calls it, you know, the things that give you life, right? You know, like seeing something funny, or like you said, your kids doing something great in school, or dancing, or whatever. Or it doesn't have to be. It's not like this big. It doesn't have to be a complicated thing, right? And really, the more simple it is, the better. And like even with you with the makeup, even though it's a complicated skill, when you're in your zone, you're kind of just there, right? And you just kind of like know what to do next, right? You just kind of go with the moment, right? And I think those are the things that really give you life, is when you're really so in the moment, you know, that you can just experience it, you know. And I just like the way that sounds, you know. What, you know, because she used to say, "Oh, that gives me life," you know, or you know, it's like, you know, that person gives me life, you know. And I feel like if you think about it that way, what gives you life, you know, and just do that. And find a way to get around those people, spend some time with them. Like SJ said, appreciate the little things, because that's really what it's all about, right? It's about your life. It's about having that life and living it, you know. And a lot of times it doesn't take all this complicated stuff that we actually put into our life. I think we make our life a lot more complicated. Pinup Girl says her son is loud. See, that's awesome, because he's just living, right? And that's why I love kids. They don't have a lot of those filters and controls that we all have on our psyche that as adults.
So for those who
live it, you know, so much.
For those who
I just wanted to share that with you guys and say again, this has been a great show.
Ourselves real quick. Actually, give me a time check real quick. What's the time?
I'm going to step out and let y'all guys, because I see what time it is.
Every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about,
give or take.
Not every
give or take.
And we have an after blab after this, where we also discuss further the topic at hand, because some people just don't like live shows, so we do it the after blab, so you can let your hair down and talk about it. But we do this every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure that you guys join us there. We all are on the interwebs. lypshow.com is the website where you can be able to see all the shows that we've done, over 30 shows. So definitely check us out. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Instagram. We're on, we have a Facebook group. So guys, that Facebook group is growing so well. So come and join the Facebook group as well.
I'm really excited about that.
So guys, my name is SJ. My company is Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach, transformational speaker. What I do is I take you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. I make sure that you understand that life is to be controlled, because it's amazing once you realize how you can control it, and life does not control you. So, and my co-host, my beautiful, wonderful co-host, Danielle.
Oh. That's me, Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, and speaker. And it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find and walk in their own purpose. I'm so glad that you all joined us this evening. Stay tuned. If you are live with us, stay tuned for the After Blab, where we continue the conversation. Sometimes we may veer off a little bit. But you know, we, like SJ said, we let our hair down, or in my case, I put my hair up, and and we have a bit more of a relaxed atmosphere. So Stick around with us if you are live. If you are watching or listening on a replay, tune in. We're here every Sunday. Like SJ said, like clockwork, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started this in September. We've only not been on the air 3 times, and that's because of holidays. And that's it. That's it. That's all. We've been here through the Super Bowl. We've been here through Mother's Day. We've been here through surgical recoveries. We are here, man. Okay?
True.
So, 6 o'clock Eastern Time in the U.S. Join us next week. We're going to have another great show, great topic of conversation. And, that's it.
Love you. We love you.
Bye.